All right, in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to do a mail merge utilizing labels. And I use labels as kind of a very generic term because basically you can buy labels. I buy them in boxes. This is probably flipped, so you probably can't see it. But this is a big old thing of Staples shipping labels. They come 10 to a sheet. You can see the little 10 to a sheet thing down here on the bottom. They come 10 to a sheet. And they always have a number on them. So you'll see there's like a number right here. And that tells you which one to use when you use the labels in Word. So let me show you an example here. So Avery is kind of the most common manufacturer of labels. And so you can see in here, like they have templates and you can see what kind of labels that they have that you could purchase. They also consider things to be like business cards are considered a label. They come in a box and they have a number on them. Postcards, little invitation cards, place tent cards, tags, stickers, all those types of things are all technically labels. So like if I click round labels, you can see here is how I can buy like round labels that you can put on stuff. And how many you can order, and say they would print on a page like this. So that's what labels are all about. They come in a box. Some of them are not actually sticky, like the postcard ones are just perforated and they're cardstock. So we're going to create labels. We're going to use our little color list because we're having so much fun with all those colors, and we are going to make a pretty little label with a picture on it using the names and the info from our list. Again, we're going to start with a blank document, so go ahead and tap on that. And then we're going to create our main document, because we always have to create the main document and merge it with the data file, right? All right, so mailings is where we always go to start. Now, be careful, because if we were just randomly making labels, we'd click the labels button. But we are not. We are merging labels. Do not click that labels button or you won't be able to merge it with anything, okay? So you have to click on Start Mail Merge. And then you're going to go to labels. And then just like always, we're going to have to set the data. But before we can set the data, it wants to know what kind of labels are you using. So it's going to have label vendors on here. Yours is probably going to say Microsoft the first time you get in there, but there's a ton of label manufacturers. I'll be honest, the only one I ever purchase all say Avery US Letter. So when I give you assignments, I'll choose US Letter, but Avery US Letter, but they may not in the book. So just be ready for maybe paying attention to the label vendor. All right, and then the numbers are going to be in here. So we're going to choose 5163. So roll down till you get to the 5s. And 5163 is a shipping label. Whoops, I completely didn't click on it. 5163. And notice on the right-hand side, it tells you about the label. It's 2 inches by 4 inches, and it's on a regular size sheet of paper. 8.5 by 11 is standard paper. Okay, you can hit OK. And here's where we might vary a little bit in what you see and what I see. So I see a table, and that's all labels are. They're just a table. They're a table made in Word, but it's all measured out, so everything will be spaced out properly. So when you pull something out of this, and it's got stickers on it, you know exactly where the stickers are on the piece of paper. Okay, so that's how this works. So if you don't see these little lines that are showing you that you're in a table, I promise you are, but you're going to want to turn those lines on, okay? Now, it is not under view and grid lines, first off. This is going to make you mad. Yeah, no thanks. This is a table, so it's actually under Table Tools. So you go to Table Tools, and then you go to Layout, and then over here, see it's grid lines. So if yours came up as like a blank sheet of paper, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just you can't see the grid lines. View grid lines. Okay, so now that we can see the grid lines, it makes it easier to see what's going on. And if you're trying to center stuff, you're going to want to use these Table Tools layout. Like this centers in the very middle, you know, that sort of thing. Now, we're not going to want to edit the table. You don't want to add rows or insert rows or split set. You don't want to do any of that stuff. You're not going to change the size, nothing. But you might want to indeed mess with this little button right here. Otherwise, leave all the other table stuff alone. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and select all of these and just center, so that way they're going to be centered in the middle of the label, because I just like to do that. But it's not like you're required to do that. In the document, if it told you to center them, that way, of course, you would do that if it was in an assignment, or if you're just trying to make it look good for yourself. But anyway, okay, so now let's create something. Now, labels are weird because you only create one label and you don't copy and paste anything. You just create one label and then you let Word do what Word has to do. Let's go back to mailings. So I have not connected my data. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to select recipients. We're using that same color list that you already had. And it's always going to go back to the other folder. So you got to go get it. But whenever you connect a recipient list in a label situation, it puts this thing on here, next record. And that basically means if you put fields on this other label, it's going to move to the next record, like the next person in your list. That's what that next record thing means. Okay? All right, so you leave that alone. Don't mess with it. It just has to stay there. Okay, now I'm going to start typing up the stuff that I want to be on here. So we have the names with the colors and the ages. So let's go ahead and maybe put a picture in. You could put in an actual picture, like a clip art or something. Let's do that. That's fun. Online picture. And let's maybe put a rainbow. You don't have to put a rainbow. You can do whatever you want here. But I want a rainbow. I really want a clip art rainbow. Okay, this is good. So I'll give me a little clip art rainbow and insert it in here. That is going to be way too big, so I'm going to make it smaller. Okay. And then we really only want stuff to go above and below it, top and bottom, when you're making a label. You don't want anything to like wrap around it. Okay. All right. So I've got that in here. I may need to drag this up. There we go. So I'm going to drag it to the top. And then underneath my rainbow, or underneath whatever your picture is, we're going to insert our merge fields. And I'm going to go ahead and change my font. Let's say Broadway. You can make it whatever you want. I'm going to make mine red. And then now I'm going to use my merge fields. So I'm going to say mailings and insert merge field. So like, think these stickers would be like name badges or something like that. So I'm going to put a merge field and put first name. Nice and pretty and big like that. And I'm going to hit enter. And then underneath that, I'm going to use these other two fields. So like I might say, I am, and then age, and love the color, and then the favorite color, okay? And then again, you can make this pretty or whatever you want to do on that back on your home tab. So I'll just try to make a, all right, something like that. Now don't have any extra enters at the bottom, so always kind of backspace up, like if yours was starting to go down there, okay? So now I've got that on here. Now here's the thing. We are not ready to merge this. I'm going to show you what happens, so don't you merge it. Just watch me, because we're not ready. Okay, now if I preview it, it looks good. There's William. I'm 16 and love the color purple. Okay, well that looks good, right? Let's merge it. Okay, edit individual documents. That's not really exactly what we're looking for, is it? Okay. So what happened is, it works for the first label on the sheet, and then when it got to record number 13 in mine, it worked for that one on the second page, but only the first box had anything for it to merge. Okay, so I'm just going to close it. Don't have to save that one, but I do want to keep my main document, and this is probably a good time to name it, so let's see what we're supposed to name this one as. Color Labels Main. So we're going to save this as Color Labels Main. Again, back in your folder, which is going to have a lot of stuff in it. Okay. And now we have to do the very, very, very important thing that you must do when you're doing labels. And that's this button right here. I want in your head to like say update labels. Like if we were in person, I would be like update labels. Everyone say update labels. Update labels is the thing that's going to mess you up if you don't use it. So when you click update labels, it does this. See how weird this is? It's all like next record, first name. Things are hanging off the page. That's okay. Hit preview. It's all good, right? Preview shows us that it's all good and we're seeing each one. Here's the thing. If you see something wrong in here, fix it in here, but then you have to update the label again. So let's say I'm going to put like a little symbol in here. So I go to insert and symbol over here. And I'll just go in here and grab, I don't know what this is, like a person or something. I have a sports symbol set. All right, so I'm going to insert and hit close, and there's like not this little man right here, okay? Whatever. Now, if I were just going to merge this right now, like if I preview it, William's the only one getting the little man, right? If I want everybody else to get the little man, and let's say I'm like, oh man, there should be a space bar there. I can put the space bar in there. okay, or whatever, or if I want to like highlight the color purple with, you know, yellow highlighter or whatever. Once you've got this first one looking right, you have to go back and hit update labels. Bam! And see, then they're all fixed. There should be no copying and pasting, none of that. Update labels. You find an error, fix it on the first one, update labels. But remember, this is the main document. This is not the finished document. Okay? We got data source, we got mama main. We have to do finish and merge to create the third document. Turn off that preview every time. Oh my, look, they turned into all my little funny people. That's funny stuff. Okay, now I'm going to hit finish and merge, and then it should put them all together. And now we have them. Now notice when you have extra labels on the page, it goes ahead and puts the stuff in there, but it doesn't have any fields to plug in, so those things don't show up. But, and you can delete that. Like, oops, kind of hard to do when there's pictures. But like you can go ahead and delete the extra ones because you don't need them. But there we go. And so there's my pretty labels. They're looking good. So make sure that you have one. I want you to go ahead and add a symbol in there. So like if you didn't do that yet, you're gonna have to update labels. But go add you a symbol in there under your insert menu and over here. And you can go to more symbols and change fonts. Wingdings and webdings are gonna have a lot of little picture fonts and arrows and stuff like that. But go ahead and add a symbol in there, highlight something also, use some color, and then update those labels. Okay, now when you get this last one finished, obviously we're going to save it. We're going to save this one as merged color labels. So merged color labels. All right, so many documents. So this guy is the merged document. But this one over here with the codes and the fields, that's the main document. You've got to get it straight. The main document, form document, template document, whatever. It's the document. It's the mama document. Okay? Mama document, data source, merged document. So you got to have those two things to make the merged document. And then it's not real till you hit finish and merge. Okay? All right. That's pretty much it. There are some additional items in here as far as you can create email messages or do envelopes. I'm not going to go over those in class, but it's basically the same process. You can continue to merge with your merge fields just like we've done in the past. But that gives you a pretty good start here on our mail merge unit. So make sure that you have all of these mini documents completed. Once again, you should have tab practice 2, the color directory main and the merged color directory, the color labels main and the merged color labels. And all of these bottom ones use the color list that we made in the previous lesson. So once you have all of those items, you're good to go. There's a study stack with your name on it.